Hey, what's going on, guys? It's been a while since I made a video. Let me turn this radio down. So what I'm doing here is, this is my 99 nb1 Miata, which came with this engine. As you see, it's the same motor that was used from 99 to 2000. 2001 to 2005 had a variable valve timing engine installed from the factory. So my plan is, because this motor, I have rod knock, so instead of rebuilding it right now, I'm going to put it aside, probably have a little project next year or whatever, and in the meantime I pulled out this low mileage 2001 engine. It is from a 2001 sport model. It came with a 6-speed. I bought the complete vehicle. Now it also came with a Torsen and a bunch of other crap that I started selling. Some nice mint doors and some seats. Well, basically the complete car. I pulled everything I could, anything of value. So I just wanted to make a couple notes from what I've seen already, and that a lot of the videos on YouTube fail to mention that, you know, with all the research through forums that I have done, and some people I've talked to in the Miata community. So the key differences between an nb1 non-variable valve timing motor and the 2001 and up motor is that obviously the first and biggest factor is your variable valve timing. Second off, you don't have just your regular coil pack at the back that sits here usually, and then you got the plug wires that feed into the top. If you're watching this video, you know what I mean. The 2001 and up had the coil on plug design, or COP. As you see, they're mounted here. These are coil packs that are just on top of the valve cover with these little 10mm bolts. So here are the plugs. Now, I spoke to one gentleman and he told me that what I have to do is I have to disconnect these pigtails, use the pigtails from the harness that I pulled from the parts car. Now, this is the great part about having a complete car, is that I took everything that I may or may not need. So here we go, I have everything labeled. This is another great thing you should do. I've never pulled a Miata motor before. I've pulled a couple Honda engines and, you know, simple shit like that from back in the day, but I never pulled a Miata engine. And just to be on the safe side, I decided to label everything. So like right here, you got your orange plug, front engine, right side, beside power steering. Okay, so as you see, it says orange plug, so let's see. Orange plug beside power steering, that's gonna be that one. And later on, even if I do this after a month, I know that, hey, here's the power steering, here's the plug. That plug can only go into one spot. If you're, you know, a little bit on the fence and not a seasoned veteran when it comes to working on cars, like, by no means am I a mechanic. This is just a, you know, part-time hobby for me, right? So another thing is you want to label all that. So back to the coil on plug design. So what you're going to want to do is, I'm going to be taking this harness apart. I'll probably cut it here and extend the wires. As you see, you got the 2 plugs here. And then what I'm going to do is plug them in right here. And then I'm going to have that wire that's cut, right? So what I'm going to do with that is remove these plugs right here. And I'm going to match up the wires. And it goes into the harness. So over here, I'm going to have to probably cut this and get my soldering gun out. Now, it's important, you really want to solder this. You don't want to just do the, you know, granny connections that your backyard buddy would do to connect your door speakers in your car 10 years ago, you know what I mean? So basically, use the factory harness wire here, and use the 2001 connectors, and then it'll just plug into the coil on plug system that we have on this motor right here. Another thing that I've learned, if you're planning on doing a VVT swap into a car that did not have it, especially an nb1, because that's what we got here, is this sensor right here. I believe it's a camshaft position sensor or something. I honestly don't know to be honest, but as you see, the sensor on an nb1 99 or 2000 car, it's at the front of the motor. On the back, or on the 2001 engine, you don't see it on the front of the motor. It's right there on the red engine back there. That plug, however, is right here. So what you want to do, that wire needs to be extended from the harness. So basically you got the harness that runs right here, okay? And as you know from the factory, these harnesses are taped pretty tight together, like you don't have much play there, right? So what you want to do is you want to split this harness a little bit, cut some of that dirty tape out over here, and then you can actually pull it back and kind of stretch it, if you will. Just make a very light cut, and then what you're going to do with the wiring that's over here, that's plugged in here, you're going to make a cut into the harness, and then you're going to kind of fold it back and plug it into the nb2 motor. Now, because I'm using the nb1 harness on an nb2 engine, these are a few of the things you have to do. I was considering originally, because I had two complete cars, I was originally going to swap out the complete interior wiring harness and the complete engine harness. Now, once I started tearing that car apart, when I was parting it out, that's when I realized how big of a job that is. I did eventually get the dash out, but I really did not want to tear apart my my tan interior on my good car. It is honestly mind-blowing how much work it is involved. And to be honest, I don't think it's worth it. The biggest hurdle from what I've heard that you're going to face is wiring up the variable valve timing. So what you have to do is you have to get the connector for this plug, which I have, luckily. A lot of people don't, so they have to jerry-rig stuff or try to find a plug. You have to run 2 wires off this. You have to run, I think, a ground, a vacuum line, and then you want to get a VVT tuner. It's from DIYAutotune.com, I believe. It looks like this. VVT tuner, closed loop VVT tuner. I got the other harness in the mail, so that's going to be my one of my last steps. First, I want to make sure that the motor runs fine and everything. And what else can I think of here to tell you guys? That's pretty much it for now. I'll make another video to do an update on how everything went with the swap, and that's pretty much it for now. See you guys. Hope this video was a little bit helpful.